Hello and welcome. I'm glad you came in today. You are
Joseph Kosovich.
okay. And you're here for?
The job position you posted online for the junior programmer position.
Oh, all right. Did you bring a resume in?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about programming.
I enjoy it greatly. That's my kind of my path in my career that I'd like to take, something with software development. I've been taking Java classes, and I'm highly appreciative for my professors to help me along in that because it's something I'd like to do with my life. So programming has always been a passion for mine once I started college.
Okay, that's good. How did college go for you? You have a Bachelor of Science, Computer Technology? I never heard of that.
It went quite well for me. I excel in all of my computer courses, and I believe that I can bring to the table a quality personnel who knows the Java programming language.
Okay. And what kind of things have you done so far in programming?
Programming currently at the internship I'm at right now, we're working for an interfacing system for the Meditech software we use at the hospital. And with this software, it'll be able to use a certain scripting language and process data in a certain way that we'd be able to send it to another hospital and they'd be able to read the form. So we have to take it and program it and parse it out in a certain way so that another hospital will be able to read it. It's a project we just started doing, so it's in very early stages right now.
Okay. And you enjoy that type of work?
Yes, I enjoy software development greatly. It gives me a lot of motivation knowing that something I can create can, especially in a hospital setting, something I can create can help so many people with their medical records.
Okay. So, you were a full-time student and you're going to graduate in May?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How were your grades?
My grades are fine. There's a few classes in my non-computer courses that I just don't have a passion for, so I'm struggling slightly in those, physics and theology. So, but my computer classes I seem to be doing quite well in.
Now, what do you do when you find struggles?
When I find struggles, I seek help. With all my jobs and all of my courses in school, I find it best just to ask questions. It can't hurt to ask.
Okay. So, what actually were your grades?
My grades, my GPA for my computer science courses is about a 3.2.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. You were leading me to believe it was more 2.0.
Okay.
All righty. So you've actually done some programming. You had how many programming classes did you have in this degree?
In this degree, we have 3 programming courses within the degree.
Okay. So you spend about 6 months or so, or is it longer than that?
Slightly longer with the outside work that we have to do, because the final project for my programming, my second course, was to program a fully graphical game. So that took quite some time outside of class to program.
Okay. So, when you feel you have a weakness, you seek help from other people. What type of supervisor are you looking for?
One that's able to motivate and lead me.
Okay. And what's going to happen if you don't have that type of supervisor?
I seek motivation myself.
How do you do that?
Seek motivation myself, there's a saying that my grandfather told me. It's if you find a job you like, you'll never work another day in your life. So that always motivates me to find a job that I will love. And if it doesn't fit perfectly the first time, I can find a way to make it.
Oh. Okay. What about coworkers? What type of coworkers are best for you?
Coworkers that are very agreeable, as I'm a very agreeable person myself, I tend to get along with all my coworkers. I haven't had any issues in any of my past jobs, so.
All right.
Any more questions you'd like to ask?
Um, well, I was thinking about that. You hadn't had any problems in any of your jobs, but you've had, three or four. You've never run across a little scrape here and there, someone that was unpleasant, something that wasn't done on time?
Done on time, we do have an issue with one coworker at my side job currently, and he doesn't do a lot of the work properly or on time. He's been there for quite some time, and he's at that point close to retirement. So he's kind of slacking. So we had to pick up the work for him. We've talked to our bosses in private about it, but there's not much we can do about it at the position I'm in as a clerk in that side position.
How long do you think if you're in a position like this where there is an irritant, does it affect your work? Do you think about leaving?
No, I don't think about leaving. I think about how I can get the job done properly.
All right. Well, you're giving me a feeling that you have a strong performance level, but you must have a weakness. What is your
Yes.
weakness? What affects you at work?
A weakness for me is when a new project is dumped on me, so to say, when it's all just given to me at one time. I tend to get very hesitant on starting the project, don't know where to start, so that's where asking questions has come in for me. I found it that it's always better to ask questions, seek help, know exactly what I need to do. So my weakness would be my slow start for a project, but once the project starts to get going, pace picks up, and I'm able to do it right the first time.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Do you think you want to move up to management at some point?
Moving up to management would be okay. I believe that I have some sort of talent, or I could easily attain that talent through proper classes, courses, and some sort of experience in the position.
What makes a good manager for you?
Someone that I seek in a supervisor, someone who can motivate a group and lead a group to doing the project correctly.
Okay. So, you're just now coming out of being a full-time student. Do you think you're going to have adjustment problems to the full day of work every day?
Adjustment problems, I don't believe I'll have any adjustment problems at the job. There will, of course, be some small adjustments problems with going from a school environment to a professional environment, but I don't believe that'll affect my work at all.
What type of problems do you expect?
I expect it's just a change in time now. Instead of going to class from different times every day, I'm waking up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning every day. It's a slight adjustment to change to that. Beyond that, no other issues.
If we checked with your school, would we find good attendance records for you?
Yes.
Okay. What about your professors? If I talked to them, would they speak highly of your academic work?
Yes, they would.
Okay. Now, so far everything has gone very, very well for you. What do you think would be bad for you? What type of environment would just not work, or what type of supervisor would not work for you?
A supervisor that doesn't take criticism. I believe a supervisor is someone who can lead a group, but as long as and as well can take criticism from the group to possibly make workflow better.
Okay. What about personal traits?
Personal traits, I find myself to be a very agreeable person, a very punctual person at work, and a person that...
What
likes
about
to-
for a supervisor?
For a supervisor? Traits for a supervisor, I believe they should as well be able to motivate a group as well as tell you what needs to be done on time and not to mess around at all. So to say, talk with you. I did have a supervisor at one of my recent jobs who did like to sit and chat while we were working, and I did not find that agreeable for the position.
And what did you find not agreeable about it?
Because some of the workload was pushed on us because they were chatting with us instead of working.
Oh. And how did you resolve that?
In that position I was currently at, I wasn't in any level to take it up with a higher position of manager or anything, so we had to basically just do the work ourselves.
Okay. Do you think that's fair?
I don't think it's fair, but it's something in the company that if it has to get done, it has to get done.
Okay. But you don't mind if occasionally work is just not fair?
If it's best for the company, it has to be done.
Okay. So how do you remain so enthusiastic about programming?
It's just something that's always been, there's no better feeling to me than to get a program working and knowing that I created this, it's something I can actually use now.
Okay. How are you going to keep your skill level up? I guess the programming languages change their compilers every, 18 months, 2 years?
Close to that. Yes, the programming and technology in general advances at such a high rate. I think certifications would be great for me to take. Certifications and other self-study as well.
Okay. Do you have any in mind?
Microsoft certification is a good one to take, as well as maybe getting the
Which
networking one.
Microsoft certification?
Microsoft Suite, just because in my current job I'm working with so much Access log, Microsoft Access, and helping people with Outlook and just basic things, or doing more advanced spreadsheets in Excel.
Okay. And what did you say about the networking part of it? I'm sorry.
Right now, it's for networking at my current job. I'm doing things with such an IP router, IP printers, and setting up people's iPads. Currently, at our job, we're working with Centric to get doctors to remote in with their iPads. So, knowing more of a networking and getting a certification with that would maybe help me greatly.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. I really didn't get that from your desire just to be a programmer. Do you have a lot of interaction with these people?
Oh yes, at the hospital, I'm always on the floor with the people. It's very rarely that I'm actually in meetings at the hospital. I'm usually helping hands-on with the nurses and the staff.
Mm-hmm. And you like that?
I do. I enjoy the hospital job because it lets me delve into so many different things. Programming is my passion, but I do also like interacting with the staff and helping them with their problems with printers, etc., getting their job done quicker.
Okay. Do you have any preference working in a group or alone? Or?
I prefer teamwork. I think it helps build relationships better and helps get the job done faster overall.
Okay. Do you think your work suffers when you work alone?
I don't think it suffers, but I think maybe the motivation behind work, having someone saying, hey, you could do this a little better, or hey, you might be able to strive for more. I believe in a teamwork group, that motivation is much more prevalent than by yourself.
Okay. What can you say to convince me to give you a shot at this company?
I believe my willingness to work and my willingness to continue learning in the technology field, as it's advancing so fast, this can be a great asset to your company.
Okay. And what reason in the back of your mind makes you think that maybe you wouldn't be the best employee?
Probably my weakness if things need to be get done extremely quickly and there's very harsh deadlines. My overwhelmingness when a certain task gets set upon me by myself and my asking of questions may be a setback.
And what do you do to overcome that?
Ask questions, make sure I get all the information I need, set it all up in front of me, step back a bit, look at it, segment it, and then go to work on it.
Okay. How do you feel about night work? What if we put you first on the midnight to 7 shift?
Night work's fine for me. My dad's an overnight pharmacist, so I'm pretty used to the night job.
Okay, good. What about holidays?
Holidays
We
are
don't
fine.
close.
Hospitals never close either, so I'm used to that as well.
Okay, very good. Is there anything that would keep you from joining us shortly?
No, not at all.
You don't have any obligations in the near future?
The hospital job, I can work part-time, or if your position becomes available as a full-time position, my hospital job knows of my current standings and looking for a new position, so they would be more than willing to unfortunately let me go.
Do you think they would miss you?
I would hope so.
Do you think they might counter-offer?
It's possible, but the hospital in the position they're at right now, I don't believe they would, due to money issues with the new building going up.
Have you had other interviews?
Not currently, no.
Okay. Do you have any applications outstanding for other jobs?
No, not currently.
Okay. What questions do you have for me?
I'd like to ask, I've worked in a team environment for all prior of my jobs. How much is a team environment really pushed in your workplace?
It's going to depend on what department you finally end up going to.
Okay.
You will not find large group projects. Usually people break up into small groups.
Okay. Beyond that, what would an average workday be like?
They'll explain that should you come back for a second interview. They'll take you to the group. You'll meet some coworkers, a supervisor, maybe some departments they interact with, and get a chance to talk to everyone. And that's always a good question for those people.
Okay. Would you possibly like a list of my references?
I would, actually. Oh, this is interesting. One of your references is a piano teacher? Did you take piano lessons?
Yes, I currently take piano now. I believe it builds discipline as well as memorization skills.
Oh, that's interesting. I wish you'd said something about that. You think it builds your discipline?
Yes, because you have to have a regiment practice.
Okay, and you have no trouble with that?
No, I can find some time, leisure time during the day.
All right. Well, that's very interesting. Now, if I contacted these people, would they give you a good reference?
Yes, yes they would.
All right. Would they know a little bit about your ability to show up, be on time?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they would.
Okay. Well, we'll think about that. If we wanted to order transcripts from your education, could we get those?
Yes, you could.
All righty. It says you had an academic excellence scholarship at one time. I thought you said your grades weren't that good.
It was when I first started college.
Okay. Well, we have some information on you. We've had a chance to meet you. We have your references, and we'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to pull your ears off your body. Get a real resume in. You have to be the last person. Okay. Oh, all right, so how did you feel?
Nervous.
And what do you think were your strengths?
Strengths, and it's just being pleasant during the whole thing, really.
I didn't think you were that pleasant.
I didn't either. It seemed kind of like monotonous, like I was and scared.
Thanks, Maria.
Oh,
Yeah, you talked to
Maria's your friend. What?
Joe, we're friends. I'm scared.
Oh, wait a minute. We did cut it off. Good.
No, please.
It's still recording? Uh-oh.